There are moments when it feels as if the entire universe has conspired against you. You try, you give your energy, your time, your heart, but everything around you seems to slow down, to slip through your hands like sand. People move on, plans collapse, goals drift further away. And there comes this quiet emptiness inside, the kind that makes you wonder if anything you've done has ever really mattered. Not because you're weak or lazy, but because the road itself begins to lose shape, and meaning starts to fade. When nothing works out, our first instinct is to push harder. We double our efforts, increase our expectations, demand productivity, motivation, control. We tighten our grip as if life were a wild force to be tamed, as if effort alone could bend reality to our will. But the harder we push, the stronger the resistance becomes. Instead of progress, we find ourselves sinking deeper into exhaustion. What if the answer isn't in acceleration, but in stillness? Not the stillness of defeat, but the stillness of awareness. Because sometimes, when everything falls apart, it's not punishment, it's direction. It's life whispering, "This path is no longer yours." The problem is, we rarely allow silence to speak. We drown it in noise, in motion, in endless to-do lists. But clarity doesn't come from speed. It comes from stopping long enough to listen. We fear stopping because we confuse stillness with failure. We've been taught that value lies in movement, that rest is wasted time. Yet maybe peace isn't the absence of action, it's the beginning of true direction. When nothing works out, don't rush to fix it. Sit with it. Let the discomfort speak. The solutions that come from panic rarely last. The ones born from patience tend to change everything. Life was never meant to be a straight line. It's built in waves, rise and fall, growth and retreat, inhale and exhale. If right now you feel lost, powerless, or stuck, perhaps you're not broken, you're just in the quiet part of the rhythm. Every heart needs a pause between beats. Every season needs its winter. In those moments, self-doubt creeps in. We start to believe our failures define our worth. But they don't. The value of a person isn't measured in success stories. The sky doesn't lose its beauty when covered in clouds. You are not less whole because your plans didn't work out. Maybe your roots are just growing underground, quietly, invisibly, preparing for a season that hasn't yet arrived. To survive these periods, you don't need more strength, you need softness. The courage to be gentle with yourself. We're so used to fighting that we forget how to allow. We think surrender means weakness, but sometimes it's the most powerful act of trust. Trust that life isn't your enemy. Trust that something is still unfolding, even if you can't yet see the pattern. Control gives us the illusion of safety, but true steadiness begins when we learn to let go. You can't breathe if you're holding your breath, and you can't live if you're gripping every detail. When nothing works, maybe the lesson is to stop forcing outcomes and start allowing experiences. Because life isn't asking for perfection, it's asking for presence. Ask yourself, why are you striving so hard? Is it for something you truly want, or something you think you should want? Sometimes things fall apart not because you've failed, but because you've been chasing a story that was never yours to begin with. When you move in the wrong direction long enough, the universe has a way of gently, or sometimes painfully, guiding you back. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to see the full picture. You just need to stay open. When you can sit in uncertainty without collapsing, you begin to discover a new kind of power. Not control over life, but harmony with it. The hardest part is keeping respect for yourself when nothing works. To not shrink, not call yourself names, not measure your worth by results. Because the fact that you care, that you still show up, that you still feel, that means you're alive. And being alive is enough. The end of achievement isn't the end of you. Maybe what looks like failure is simply truth coming to the surface. When everything breaks, it's not just destruction, it's revelation. The unnecessary parts fall away, leaving what's real. And what's real always knows how to rebuild. No journey is without chaos. No transformation begins without confusion. What you call nothing works may actually be the moment your old life stops fitting, and your new one hasn't yet begun. You are in the in-between, and that's sacred ground. If you feel lost, don't rush to escape it. Look closer. Sit with your weariness. Breathe through your frustration. There's wisdom in that quiet. The answers won't come from panic, they'll come from presence. And when you stop running from what hurts, something extraordinary happens. The pain starts to change shape. It becomes understanding. It becomes compassion. Life never asked you to be perfect. It asked you to be real. When nothing works out, perhaps it's just a call to return to yourself. Not to your plans, but to your being. Sit beside your uncertainty like an old friend. You don't have to fix it. Just be there. And in that stillness, you'll feel it, a tiny spark of curiosity, a faint pull towards something new. That's life, coming back to you. You haven't failed. You're evolving. Growth doesn't always look like success. Sometimes it looks like standing still in the dark, letting your roots deepen. When you rise again, you'll realize that this period wasn't wasted. It was preparation. So don't look for someone to blame. Don't turn against yourself. Just let life breathe the way it wants to. Sometimes the most courageous act is to stop trying to control it. To let go of should and open yourself to what is. And one day, without fanfare, you'll notice it. The air feels lighter, the weight inside has shifted, and you're moving again. Not with desperation, but with quiet strength. Not to prove anything, but because you've remembered how to live. Nothing working out doesn't mean life is over. It means something new is beginning. Maybe not the life you planned, but the life that was meant for you all along.